it's Hayden here for Rothwell Audio Products, and in this video we're taking a look at the Love Squeeze compressor. The Love Squeeze compressor is a high performance unit that belies its simple appearance. As you can see on the front, we have a compression pot and a volume pot, along with our obviously on-off switch, and like all Rothwell pedals, the Love Squeeze is true bypass. What's special about the Love Squeeze is that even when you set it to a high compression setting, it remains remarkably transparent. You can always hear the nuances and tone of your guitar come through, even when you're absolutely crushing the signal. Also, as an added benefit, with the volume pot there is plenty to spare should you wish to use the compressor to really push the front end of an amp or another overdrive pedal. Let's get straight into listening to some tones through the Love Squeeze pedal. We're going to use our Baja Telecaster. This is going to go straight into the Love Squeeze and straight into a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, which we've close mic'd. As we have mentioned in previous videos, we don't do any EQing in post because we want you to hear what the pedal's actually like. Let's set up for a fairly reasonable amount of compression here. We'll turn the compression knob to approximately 10 o'clock. The volume around 230, which should give us unity. Just so you can hear how transparent the unit is, let's play a couple of very simple chords. This is using our dry sound and using both the neck and the bridge pickups on our guitar. And let's bring in the Love Squeeze. You can certainly hear that there's some compression going on there, but it does leave your tone remarkably untouched. Let's use the same simple chords, but this time strum them to give a stronger idea of what's going on. First of all, our dry sound. And now with the Love Squeeze. If anything, along with the compression, it really brings out the character of this telly. To further demonstrate how transparent it is, let's go a little bit more extreme. Let's turn the compression pot all the way to the max and get the volume down to around 1 o'clock, which should offer us unity now that we have a little more output thanks to maxing out the compression. Let's play a very simple, funky kind of groove with our dry sound. Again, we're going to use both the bridge and the neck pickups. And now with a Love Squeeze, set a maximum compression. Now, there's no doubting there's a huge amount of compression there, but it still leaves your core tone remarkably untouched, and this is the key strength of this pedal. Leaving the settings as they are, you can hear if we try a pedal steelish kind of lick, everything chimes out nice and sweet. See, at no point does the pedal actually crush the life out of what's going on. Now obviously we could go through every setting on the compression pot, but compression really is something that's kind of personal. How much you like, what kind of music you play. The main key here was to show you how transparent this unit is while still providing all the sonic goodies you're after. But we're not quite done here, because as well as having this transparent compression, there's a considerable volume boost available. So let's put the Love Squeeze in front of one of our overdrive pedals. As you can see here, we're going to be using our Hellbender pedal. We've got it set with the volume just past noon, the gain around 3 o'clock and the tone around 1 o'clock. Over on the Love Squeeze, we're going to set the compression around 11 o'clock with the volume around 2 o'clock. As you can no doubt tell, I have switched over to our humbucker equipped Wolfgang. Let's listen to the Hellbender all on its own. And now let's bring in the Love Squeeze with the settings we mentioned earlier. As you can hear, on its own, the Hellbender has a wonderful, almost nasal roar reminiscent of older Marshalls. And when you bring in the Love Squeeze with the settings we mentioned, it takes a little away from the lower end, tightens that up, changes the mid character slightly and gives you some top end sparkle, as well as just a hint more drive. And what we're going to do now is boost the front end of that Hellbender quite considerably. For this sound, we're going to turn both the compression and volume pots on the Love Squeeze up to around 4 o'clock. This should give us a considerable boost. First of all, the Hellbender on its own again. And now giving it a considerable amount of boost from the Love Squeeze. As you can hear, it increases the overall amount of gain, switches the mid character slightly, tightens up and starts to boost that lower end and keeps all that high end definition in place, essentially giving you two different overdrive pedals. The standard Hellbender, which is mid-high gain, up to a really rather high gain, more aggressive modern sound. I hope this video has given you some insight into what the Rothwell Love Squeeze is capable of, both as a standalone compression unit to add a bit of extra sparkle to your chords or give you a really squashy country tone, through to something you can use to absolutely hammer the front end of another overdrive pedal or an amplifier. Please make sure to check out our website, which is www.rothwellaudioproducts.co.uk, and friend us or subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we would dearly love to hear what you're doing with our pedals. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.